Good afternoon. We have the pleasure to have with us Pierre Joudiou, President at Oxalis, and Laurent Guillot, General Manager at Oxalis. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Paolo. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you.
Could you please give us a high level of your view of your company?
Yes. So Oxalis is a software vendor fully dedicated to procurement processes. We are focusing on mid-market and mid-sized organization. We originally are operating in France, and now we are spreading over on international organization. We have a subsidiary in Italy, in Milano, addressing the Italian market. Our company has a relatively long history, and our solution has developed a lot of features that are used today in various sectors of businesses. We have no specificity, no vertical specificity, and we are covering source to contract and source to pay solution. In the last years, we've also extended our group by the acquisition of other software. And I would like to more specifically mention one of them, which is called Sasha IQ, which is a software for the execution of the procurement strategy and the follow-up of the procurement strategy, which is making a significant differentiation for the Oxalis solution today.
Thank you very much and very clear. Now, using a framework that is very familiar for the procurement professional, which is Sustainable Procurement House framework, could you please position the three medals, the medal where you consider that it is the highest focus for artificial intelligence in your solution?
Okay, thank you. As you know, it's very difficult to select only one or two features, even three, in all this mapping of various processes. But we believe that we are specifically strong at, and we will specifically implement artificial intelligence in order management. We historically have developed a lot of solution features for the e-procurement part of our solution.
Okay.
And we've developed a lot of functionality there. And of course, we will implement artificial intelligence there. The second part is, I would say, something more recent in terms of interest from the market, which is the SRM, or more specifically, looking at your mapping, what you call appraisal and selection of suppliers. Okay. In our solution, we have a very deep insight of the suppliers that we call 360 degrees, where we can collect data coming from outside, coming from the ongoing business of the company with its supplier, coming from evaluation made by various users. So we have a very clear visibility of the supplier, who is, what are the risks that can be associated or can be mitigated with the supplier, and regarding the quality and the evolution process, ongoing processes.
So to be sure that I have correctly understood, the second medal will go in S4, correct? We appraise the supplier and select.
Yes, that's C4.
C4. Yeah. So it's in the sourcing process. Process. Okay.
In the sourcing process.
Okay. And the third medal?
And the third one, I mentioned you the acquisition we've made recently with Sasha IQ. So then I will select the frame A5, which is in the function evolution, the last one of the line, which is a performance measurement, the performance definition, and the tracking of all what are the KPIs linked to the strategy execution.
Okay, thank you. Obviously, these do not mean that you have excellent solution also in the other room, but at least for this interview, we can focus on three areas that you consider the
So
area
that's
of
what we
higher
understood,
interest
yeah.
for artificial intelligence, and because the focus of this interview is on artificial intelligence. Let's start from the first one, which is the order management. Could you please give us a brief overview of the benefit from the customer point of view using your solution in this room?
The main benefit, I will say, is for the procurement management and the procurement team to define its procurement strategy, to parameterize the solution associated to this procurement strategy, and to roll this procurement strategy out to the various users in order that they are fully independent or as independent as they can in their procurement execution, but always in compliance with the procurement strategy which has been defined by the CPO. So that's the main value. And to obtain this value, the procurement can select the supplier, can select the article, can negotiate the price, and make all this information available to the users. And then after the user is just executing the procurement according to the strategy, to the supplier selection, to the pricing that has been negotiated.
Just one question to be sure that I have understood correctly. I position myself from the side of the procurement professional. You are saying that the activity is E2, so is order management, is a typical activity in the area of the operation, okay? But at the same time, using artificial intelligence, you will be able to enrich this activity, enriching the alignment from this, which is an operational activity, with the strategy of the organization.
That is correct. And we are also working on various artificial intelligence usage, specific usage, for example, for the connection with the accounting, because it's always a nightmare, the discussion of the connection between procurement and accounting. So we are using the artificial intelligence as well regarding the catalog management. Yes. And article selection inside the catalog that has been implemented. Of course, that depends on the sector of the customer, but in some sector, I think specifically about construction, sometimes catalog management is a nightmare. So that's a place where we will, of course, implement huge value to the users with the catalog management. And of course, regarding invoicing recognition, but that's not something which is so important for Italy, as you are already using electronic invoicing national solution.
Okay, perfect. Very clear now to me. So let's move to the second room. The room that you mentioned is C4, which is appraise the supplier and select. So it's a preliminary selection because according to the CIPS language, in this, the final selection is called award. So is in C5. So this is the number of supplier that you want to invite to a tender. In Italian, we say the scrematura. I don't know the French word for that, but you start from 10 and you decide that according to your price, you invite only 5 of them. But if one of these 5 will win the tender, is a company welcome in your organization as a procurement manager, no? So tell me where you are using artificial intelligence in this room.
Okay, so we have two parts of these processes. The first one is the selection of new supplier, the one we do not know. And then we need to capture a lot of data from various database, from various web system whatsoever, in order to have enough information on the companies that we envisage to select for a tender. Okay. So it's a potential usage. Then the second aspect is with the suppliers that we already know very well. We also need to collect various information from the existing business we already had with them, from the evaluation or appraisal that we had the occasion to operate with them, from the quality improvement programs that we potentially have deployed with them, and from various also information bases. And then we need to capture the low signals that may give us hits in order to identify potential risk or just a potential specific mitigation program that we need to implement. So that's where we see the most usage of artificial intelligence. And as I told you, it's a process that we already control with a lot of capture of data, and that's why we get the silver medal there.
I can imagine that with the same module, you can also work in the area of SRM, so understanding buyer-supplier relationship, because if you're working with existing customer, with the same tool, you can select data of the past relation with this supplier. Very well.
Now that's right. I would say that what you mentioned is, I would say, the business as usual.
Yeah.
But then with artificial intelligence, we can even improve much more and give much more value to the customer.
Definitely. Next point is very interesting because there are few interviews that mention the process in the upper part of our house, which is the function evolution. And specifically, you said that your solution brings a lot of value in the room A5, which is performance, measurement, definition, that according to CIPS go in two directions, is as a professional procurement, I try to, in the relation with my supplier, I try to define KPI in the relation, but at the same time, this is also the room where my company measure the level of performance of the function. Okay, I leave to you for artificial intelligence.
Okay, as you know, the procurement strategy is just the declination of the company strategy. And for the CPO, one of the key challenge is to first to translate the strategies that the company wants to deploy and to translate it in the procurement area and making its own team working according to this strategy. And then after to report, to capture what this team is doing and capturing, putting that in KPI and to report that to his general management. So that's to make it very, very brief and to be very short on that, but that's the idea of this module, to translate the strategy of the company inside the strategy of to translate the strategy of the company in a procurement strategy, and to give the occasion to the CPO to structure the work of what will be done by his team and to select who is doing what, and to manage creativity, to also leverage various models of procurement improvement inside its own team organization and its own team processes. So that's what this module is doing. And artificial intelligence will help by also capturing best practices outside of what the company is doing, to help also the capture of various data when we think about CSRD and ecological and social responsibility. A lot of things are happening outside. We need to understand, to capture, and to put in this strategy execution tracking.
It's very, I think, very useful, because when we go as tutors in the organizations, we realize that normally the organizations that call us as for giving program, training program, are organizations that are going through a transformation program themselves, no? So they are already open. But we realize that the room about KPI is always underestimated. They speak about the strategy. Maybe they have a very good new leadership and a good organization of procurement. They have invested in people. They have good processes and IT, but they still have to update the KPI. To move the KPI, you were mentioning about sustainability, especially for medium-sized company. I think this is going to be a big wave, because the big guys already do that, and now they are pushing to their supplier, which are smaller company, to follow this wave. So I think what you said is extremely interesting. Thank you.
Paolo, as we always say, you cannot improve what you do not measure.
Yeah, so, definitely. You are from Polytechnique de Paris. I am from Polytechnique of Milan. So we speak the same language. Okay. Nothing can be improved if it cannot be measured. I always say to that also to my son. Okay. Thank you very much, both of you, and all the best for the future of your organization.
Thank you, Paolo.
Thank you very much.